Broadcasting House in New Glenville. This is Weekend News on the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation in Freetown. I'm Cecilia Ali Sise. Your top stories tonight. President Bio commissions new flour mill plant at Kleintown. Ministry of Health, together with the National Public Health Agency, holds review workshop on Mpox response. And coming up later on, sports segment, Sierra Leone commemorates World Intellectual Property Day 2026 with the launch of Intellectual Property School Clubs. Well, these stories and more plus sport and entertainment are lined up in this edition of the news. Stay with us. Welcome back. We start the news bulletin with the presidency. President Julius Maada Bio has commissioned a new flour mill at Kleintown. The multi-million-dollar facility is expected to produce hundreds of tons of flour. Officials say it will cut the cost of flour and bread, improve access, and boost the economy. Now, the president calls it a major boost towards food security. Margaret Senger reports.
The $40 to $56 million Carillion flour mill is owned by Sierra Leonean businessman Jules Dessau. It signals a push towards food self-sufficiency, one of President's top priorities in his second term. President Bio says Sierra Leone is moving beyond a political independence to feeding its people.
The new facility definitely marks a significant milestone in the industrial transformation of our beloved country, the land that we love, Sierra Leone. And you know what? It speaks directly to my manifesto commitment to transform locally available raw materials into finished products. And what we are seeing boldly supports my government's dedication to building a diversified industrial base and enhancing our national productive capacity in this country. In this regard, we are not merely here to commission an infrastructure or review a private sector investment. We are actually here to witness the continuation of a national story which we started to tell.
The fully automated plant will produce high-quality baking flour from imported wheat. The president says the investment shows growing investor confidence and a return to industrial ambition. He calls on the private sector to invest more.
Flour milling is a strategic industry. It lies at the heart of food availability, price stability, and value chain development. Every enhancement in production efficiency here translates into more reliable supply for households, bakeries, institutions, and small businesses across this country. By expanding operations, it strengthens our national capacity to meet domestic demand, reduce vulnerability to external supply shocks, and improve the consistency and quality of essential food products.
The owner, Jules Dessau, recalls the challenges. He credits the intervention of the president and the first lady for turning things around.
I want to make everybody join me for tell the president thank you for so say no person can do this. I'm glad too much. If me don't do this kind of thing here, what about other brothers them, Australians them? They for do more than this. The only thing what I say to everybody, Lord, keep honesty, hardworking, patient. They succeed.
So says the expansion would not have happened without government support, including land for development. He adds that Sierra Leone could now offer some of the most competitive flour prices in the Mano River Union. Minister of Trade and Industry Alpha Cissé says the project aligns with the National Development Plan and the Feed Saloon program.
This is part of a midterm National Development Plan and Feed Saloon. Just a couple of weeks ago, let me say slightly less than 2 weeks ago, we really begin to realize the Feed Saloon agenda. We come on Air Force, we go outside government, don't create an environment for Yabas. We go to Lungi. Today, we spend beaucoup money for import Yabas. Today, we don't reduce that. And in the next 2 years, that's how Yabas will sell outside. Again, under the direct leadership of the President.
Minister of Labour Mohamed Rahman Soare says the project supports the government's job creation target. He also highlights improved workplace safety.
You come on there, one of the things I would get now, Ministry of Labour, all of the time, nothing that we border on dishonesty. Why I'm picking this out? Because now the Ministry of Labour will get poco cases involving Sierra Leoneans, either fail, Maggie, Stout, beer, all that kind of cases, and they will get that all the time. Positica, esprit away. When they catch you, me, then say, okay, stand up for Sierra Leoneans, and now they didn't have the law. Now, summary dismissal, they lost all benefits. So I want to encourage Sierra Leoneans, the law be honest. This business now, it will continue for you. When I hear Pastor in your story, it will maintain and kill this factory, today not for them be possible. So do ya, and also great Sierra Leoneans, and then law encourage the other one then for keep on the straight and narrow path of honesty, integrity, and dignity. Like now one day they get now dignified money that one day.
World Bank Country Manager Abdul Muwonge praises the government development efforts and pledges continued support.
Footprint in Sierra Leone is growing. We are very deliberate about that. And the reason is because our strategy, we do have a new strategy, IFC 2030, which underscores three things. We would like to continue engaging in mobilizing private capital solutions. We would like to strengthen markets, and we would like to strengthen partnerships. Today, what we are witnessing is a testimony of those three attributes. First and foremost, partnerships. We would not have been here without the support of government.
Residents welcome the development. They expect lower bread prices and better access.
So I'm so glad for this new thing where it don't happen now in country. Oh, we don't get we own flour. We own flour when we make like bread, we bake cake, we fry cake. So we're so glad, I'm so glad today. Coming like Cobra, and I'm not going to suffer for let me begin and we're bread for it now.
First of all, I feel happy, extremely happy, and I feel proud. I feel proud to say we, as Sierra Leoneans, we make we own food now. We know they get the hang hard, whether that food they really come out. They get for camp, people don't get for camp. So very proud. I mean, that is proud because now we begin them. We go get enough like for instance bread.
This multi-million-dollar investment is expected to transform flour production in Sierra Leone, cutting costs, improving quality, and strengthening food security.
In another development, the president has presented a check of little over $4 million to 3 chiefdoms in Tonkolili district. The payment is part of the Community Development Agreement Fund under the Mines and Minerals Act of 2022. Our status correspondent again, Margaret Sanger, reports.
And the president will present the paramount chiefs. We will take some photos.
The payment reflects government's commitment to increase Community benefits from mining. Before the 2022 law, contribution stood at just 0.005%. Now, communities receive a full 1%. President Bio says Sierra Leone's natural resources must benefit its people, especially host communities.
This is the new direction I spoke about at the beginning of my administration. Sierra Leone is steadily transitioning from an extractive economy to a value-adding industrial economy, driven by deliberate policy, strong partnership, and a clear national vision that is anchored in our industrialization and local content agenda. Our people must benefit. It's not just about the company, just about the government. Some quality must be different.
The president also commissions phase 2 of the magnetite processing plant. The facility has a capacity of 30 million tons per year. This expansion strengthens Sierra Leone's position in mineral processing and signals continued growth in the sector.
We are here also to commission the second 10 million ton per annum magnetite processing plant, part of the broader 30 million ton value addition strategy. This is critical for our future. For far too long, we exported raw material with limited value. Today we are changing that, and we are going to do so in this district.
Ladies and gentlemen, with pleasure and honor, I now announce the commissioning of the 10 million ton processing plant.
The president confirms that a third processing plant is already underway. He calls it a major step for the country and the region. A representative of Leone Rock Metal Group, Salim Silla, says funds are already supporting education and health care.
Your Excellency, over the last 4 years, the CDA program across the primary host communities has continued to scale up in impact, inclusion, long-term sustainability, some of which I will highlight to you, sir. I will start with education, which is your baby. And I can assure you that in this community where we are now through the CDA, we have given full tuition scholarship to 760 students to go to university from the three chiefdoms.
Member of Parliament Foyo Tholi says the fund ensures communities benefit directly.
Today, now another day, we would expect say big glory within our community. You know, this CDA not a charity. When they tell the young mining company say CDA not a charity, now obligation, and we will tell them thank you for this obligation when they adhere to always. When they can do CDA payment, we appeal to them with the authorities of this community. For them, we will sit with and all know how they implement it. So we will know the impact of our.
Minister of Mines Julius Matai says government will strengthen accountability systems.
That's why the Community Development Fund must be used wisely, strategically, transparently, prudently, and visibly. It should give communities direct control over their own developmental priorities. It should help build and improve schools in their specific chiefdoms so that children can learn in safe and dignified environment. It should strengthen health clinics in the villages so that mothers, children, and the elderly can access timely care. It should finance water systems for their homes, livelihood support for the farmers, and community service infrastructure that improves everyday lives with speed and purpose.
He says communities must take charge of their own development priorities. Palmam Chief Bokari Yellen Koroma and residents welcome the initiative.
These mining communities will never forget the indelible landmarks you have made in our communities and God Almighty will surely reward you for that. I pray these committees give you all the support you want from us, even after you. Since mining started in our communities, only you and your government have made what seemed impossible possible.
The Community Development Agreement covers Dansongoya, Sambaya, and Simiria chiefdoms.
Those are the machines that will crush, separate, and convey the minerals for its final destination. If you could remember, in 2022, President Bio made a pronouncement and formally launched the CDA Agreement Fund for Community Development, which sets the implementation of the 1% allocation of revenue required by law.
Away from that, the Ministry of Health, together with the National Public Health Agency, has held a one-day after-action review on Mpox response. The events in Freetown brought together key stakeholders and partners to evaluate the country's handling of the outbreak and strengthen preparedness for future public health threats. Elizabeth Molan-Sisse has more in this report.
The meeting held at the New Brookfields Hotel in Freetown brought together the Ministry of Health, National Public Health Agency, and various partners including JPIGO, GOAL, UNICEF, and the World Health Organization, and many more. It provided a platform for health experts and stakeholders to celebrate the end of Mpox and also reflect on lessons learned from the disease and identify strategies to improve future responses. Partners at the meeting also used the opportunity to outline the various forms of support they provided during the Mpox outbreak, ranging from technical assistance to resource mobilization and community engagement. They reaffirmed their commitment to continue supporting the government in addressing future public health threats. The Deputy Minister of Health 1, Dr. Charles Senesi, described the outbreak as a challenging period for the health sector, noting that it gave them a run for their money. He highlighted the range of interventions implemented to contain the disease and protect public health.
Retrospectively, we established a strong expert coordination mechanism across all levels of the health system, the health information systems of our here, and they played a key role. We achieved strong risk communication and community engagement, building trust and ensuring compliance, which is very important with open centers. Our cross-border collaboration with other countries in the neighbors was a cornerstone of our regional health security. We decentralized and laboratory testing capacity across the country.
The Deputy Chief Medical Officer for Public Health, Dr. Alhaji Aliwuri, commended partners for their significant contribution during the outbreak. He emphasized the need for continued collaboration and called for stronger support system to improve the well-being of survivors.
So Mpox will see that this one too is going to have its long sequel effects in many of the survivors. So please, build this area. Let us look at what are we still to do for those survivors and how can we harness our expertise to make their life comfortable thereafter.
Meanwhile, the acting program manager for emergency preparedness and response at the National Public Health Agency, Dr. Mustafa Jallo, outlined key priority areas for strengthening response mechanism, including improved coordination, surveillance, and rapid response system.
Diseases can pass through any of these borders, at any time. So we want to strengthen to prevent the introduction of any type of outbreak into Sierra Leone. I think those are some of the critical areas, but very important again. We want to see how we can continue, strengthen our data systems.
The meeting concluded with stakeholders presenting recommendations aimed at enhancing preparedness and resilience against future public health emergencies in Sierra Leone. They recommended that continued strengthening of detection components across the country and ensuring that readily accession centers and general infrastructure. For SLBC News, Elizabeth Molan-Sisse reporting.
Now, following the 27th ordinary session of the Assembly of Health Ministers hosted in Sierra Leone, Senior Permanent Secretary Andrew Lawrence Soy has updated the media about the importance of the Assembly and the strides government has made so far in combating malaria. As he spoke to SRBC's Mohammed Koma, this year's Assembly of Health Ministers, organized by West African Health Organization, was said to have been the best in recent times.
So the determination here, coming out of the AHM, is zero preventable deaths. Just to ensure that nobody dies of preventable malaria.
Is it achievable?
It is achievable. It is achievable, and that's why we are putting all the structures in place. It's not a fight only for a Ministry of Health. It is a fight that should be carried out by everyone, by all the departments, and that's why we are reaching out. It's a multi-sectoral approach we're taking. We're bringing in everybody on board. The other ministries are contributing. Education is going to contribute, Ministry of Works, Ministry of Development. Everybody has a part to play in this. And my minister is reaching out to all of his colleagues. And he gives directives for even the technical staff to also reach out to counterparts in other ministries. I am doing the same as a permanent secretary, reaching out so that actions are taken by all of these departments. You saw the minister and the director general of WAHU giving out bed nets. It's just one of our actions. It's safe, and we're encouraging people to sleep. It should look like a very simple act, giving bed nets. Yeah. But if you sleep on the bed nets, you are not going to be beaten by mosquitoes at night. During the day, if you're moving around, it's difficult for you to be bitten by mosquitoes. But when you're at rest, that's when mosquitoes have the advantage of actually biting you. So if everybody sleeps on a bed net, we will have a drop in the figures for malaria infection. We're also making sure that we position drugs around the country in all facilities, so that just in case somebody gets infected, you can have prompt treatment. Okay, but don't forget that we are the first country to actually initiate the malaria vaccination.
Now, the digital economy offers unprecedented avenues for innovation, productivity, and job creation. Yet, Sierra Leone faces the critical challenges in ensuring that digital platforms provide decent work for citizens. This was according to the Vice President, Dr. Jude Jallo, who called on the nation to confront this reality with honesty and resolve. He was speaking at the Meta Conference Center on the convening of the National Labour Conference and Social Dialogue Session 2026. Dennis Fraser reports.
The condition of workman they really, good to me, because one, the standard of living they go high, while the wage or the salary they come down, because through the expenses we get, if you dey expend past what you dey earn, an officer that in a good status standing. The sales we dey trade where everything we dey done far more better than now, because now things are expensive. And you know, say salon, we lack for wear, but we not lack for buy dear. We lack for dress. Salon man lack dressing, but not lack for buy expensive. So if things dear, it go one time, but the money you not go able come buy. So compare before and now, for me before more better because it be more cheaper than now. Now it's expensive. Though yes, the fashion, the design, every day it increase or it promotes. Every year a new design they come, but things are expensive compared to the previous time they will be doing.
It's not so easy for the workman then. Would they appeal to government if they can able to increase it at 30%? Because it's not easy at this time here so. Workman and they work, some not even save money. Before the month they done, you get picking. Or strength day, you get for buy credits. So if then they pay law, just assume say 1,500,000 for month. Then you get strength where they give 5 million. You get for pay school fee. You don't pay, you know they able for give all the money then they pass on saying at the end you go to us back or you wait say month done. So you know really they do. So they pass it to us back. And if you not get sell, you know they able for Ibi Osusu for let you self able for get that what you want get that. So you don't see. And now Osusu they make business boost for we the business people then. But Sunday you go sell self, you don't even see money. You know they even see money sell.
Now, we apologize for that break in transmission. The rest of the news continues. An expert group meeting and ministerial conference bringing together member states of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has concluded in Freetown, setting the stage for the West African Economic Integration and Investment Summit 2026, scheduled for November. Organized by the Presidential Initiative on Climate Change, Renewable Energy and Food Security, the meeting is a reaffirmation by President Bio on the fundamentals of ECOWAS. Stella Bangura has more.
The expert group meeting and ministerial conference was convened following a call by Julius Maada Bio, chairman of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government, urging the region to return to its founding vision of economic integration, collective self-sufficiency, and strengthen regional cooperation. Held under the theme Powering Integration Through Energy Trade, Strategic Minerals, Agribusiness, and Digital Transformation, the forum brought together ministers, technical experts, private sector actors, and development partners to refine strategies across 4 key pillars critical to West Africa's transformation.
Identify these 4 pillars because we see 3 of them as the main drivers of the West African economy. Yeah, most of us have minerals. That's where we're hoping the capital will come from to propel our countries. We need to drive all 4 aggressively, but it could be more, but we narrowed down to 4 major drivers. And over time, we want to track investments that will come into those 4 pillars.
Welcoming delegates, Minister of Planning and Economic Development, Kenny Ebale, described the meeting as timely, noting that the region stands on the threshold of transformation, with the EGM serving as a bridge between vision and actionable policies. Minister of Finance, Sheku Ahmed Fantamadi Bangura, acknowledged ECOWAS achievements, but stressed that the region still lags behind globally, citing over-dependence on external markets and the need to better harness local potential. Across sessions, speakers emphasized that the meeting marked a deliberate return to the core purpose of ECOWAS, economic integration, especially as the bloc approaches its 50th anniversary. The president of the ECOWAS Commission, His Excellency Dr. Umar Aliyu Toure, underscored the urgency of recommitting to that mandate, describing the summit's theme as both strategic and necessary, particularly in a region rich in resources but still facing limited access to reliable and affordable energy, with over 200 million people lacking electricity. Discussions during the EGM focused on aligning investment opportunities, prioritizing bankable projects, and agreeing on critical policy and regulatory reforms to unlock large-scale investments.
We are a small country. Sometimes we find it extremely difficult to attract large-scale investment in the energy sector. And our fathers have really laid the foundation for us. To be honest, we should have been here at this level today. We should have been much better based on the foundation that has been made for all of us.
For a population of 424 million people and a GDP of about $758 billion, guess what? Intra-African trade is just 12%. Just 12% intra-ECOWAS trade. It means there are inherent challenges and we must make a lot of effort to address this.
One thing I want to focus on that I don't think any of the panelists have spoken about, is bankable projects. I know that's what we expect in the end, but I know as a ministry and other ministries and the NIB, we've been talking about bankable projects for over 2 years.
Special Envoy Kande Kole Yumkela called for stronger intra-African trade and value addition, highlighting the contradiction of resource-rich countries and in less than nations with fewer natural resources due to limited industrialization. He stressed that energy access remains central to unlocking value chains and noted ongoing efforts, including major funding for digital transformation. The Ministerial Roundtable further highlighted the importance of private sector partnerships, infrastructure development, and digital connectivity. Ministers pointed out that intra-regional trade in West Africa remains low at around 12%, despite a population exceeding 400 million, calling for urgent action to address infrastructure gaps and policy barriers. Participants also examined challenges in agriculture, noting that the sector continues to underperform due to financing constraints, climate vulnerabilities, and policy gaps, despite its potential to unlock over $100 billion in investment across food systems, renewable energy, and agro-processing. Stakeholders reaffirmed their commitment towards moving from policy discussions to concrete implementation, expressing full support for a successful West African Economic Integration and Investment Summit 2026 that will present actionable recommendations to the heads of state and global investors aimed at unlocking the region's vast economic potential come November. Reporting for SLBC, Stella Bangura.
You're still watching Weekend News on the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation in Freetown. The rest of the news continues. 28 years is quite a considerable period of time. For the Sisters of Sierra Leone, the last 28 years have been all about impact and service to country and fellow citizens. The US-based women's organization has celebrated its 20th anniversary with a Thanksgiving service at the United Methodist Church in Dallas, Texas. As Surikama reports, the celebration also coincided with Sierra Leone's 65th independence anniversary, making the event especially distinct from previous celebrations.
This year's anniversary celebration was especially meaningful, blending tradition with the highlights of the sisters' achievements, while reflecting on Sierra Leone's journey at 65 years of independence. Despite ongoing challenges, the Sisters of Sierra Leone continue their long-standing tradition of hosting an annual Thanksgiving service, which draws hundreds of attendees each year. The theme for this year's Thanksgiving service, "Give Thanks in All Circumstances, for This is the Will of God," reflects the organization's commitment to gratitude and faith. It underscores their belief in maintaining trust in God regardless of the obstacles they face. The sermon was delivered by Reverend Dr. Frank Drenner, a member of the United Methodist Church.
We are a congregation, a people of God. Easter people is what we are transformed into. And Easter people have these key factors about them. They are obedient to the truth. They love each other with mutual affection, deeply from the heart.
One of the organization's founding members, Jenny Joanna Kroma, in her presentation, highlighted the organization's history and achievements. She acknowledged the significant challenges members face, including sacrificing personal time and financial resources to support others. But she was upbeat that their work remains deeply impactful and emotionally rewarding.
We sponsor children to foster their education. We foster mothers that are less fortunate, some of them in wheelchairs. After the war, that's the first reason why we started this organization. The war was still going on at the time that the Sisters of Sierra Leone started. And so since then, we have been doing this every single year.
Mrs. Kroma said many children and individuals with disabilities in Sierra Leone have benefited from the Sisters of Sierra Leone support, particularly in the early days of the organization when the country was emerging from the Civil War. She also highlighted the group's contributions within the United States. She commended members for their dedication and sacrifices, stressing that unity and collective efforts are key to achieving their mission and goals. The Sisters of Sierra Leone, based in Texas, is widely regarded as a strong and influential women's organization, not only in the United States but across the diaspora. Over the years, the organization has provided essential services and resources in areas such as healthcare, education, and social support to underserved communities in Sierra Leone. Soy Kamara, SLBC News, Freetown.
Well, from there, let's find out the latest in sports.
Hello and welcome to the sporting updates that keeps you in the know. And by the way, my name is Abdul Kabir and thank you so much for your time. Now, in a bid to promote bone-to-bone sport and also the ultimate fighting league in Sierra Leone, well, they've held a one-day session at the Lonely Beach in Freetown. It was a showdown of many activities. Here is the update. The bone-to-bone event successfully transformed the iconic Lonely Beach into a premier combating sports arena, blending raw athleticism with high-level festival atmosphere. Organizer Mansa Fode Ajamu hailed the tournament as a landmark success for the local combat sport. Beyond the visual spectacle, Ajamu emphasized that the bone-to-bone sees serves as a deep purpose, establishing a structured professional pathway for Sierra Leone's emerging boxing talent, noting that their goal was to give young athletes positive engagement and a stage where their talents can truly shine at the end of the day. The championship delivered more than just technical boxing. It was a comprehensive entertainment experience. Highlights of the event included fighters from across the city traded heavy blows in a series of high-stakes bouts with competitors fueled by the spirit of local glory. A massive turnout of spectators lined the sand and creating an electric environment that pushed the athletes to their physical limit. In a unique twist, the bone crunch in action was celebrated by live music performances, keeping the crowd's energy at a peak between rounds. The resounding success of this event signals a growing domestic appetite for production in a challenging outdoor environment like Lumley Beach. The UFL has set a new benchmark for the sport. With the dust and sand finally settling, fans and athletes are already looking ahead to the next installment of beachside battles. In another development, the Intellectual Property Day has been celebrated in Sierra Leone, while the connection between intellectual property and sport was truly displayed. Christina Kamala's details.
Today marks a very, very important day in the history of intellectual property. As the Office of the Administrator and Registrar General, under the guardianship of the Office of the Attorney General, commemorates the World Intellectual Property Day together with the launch of the Intellectual Property School Club.
This year's theme, Intellectual Property and Sport, Ready, Set, Innovate, underscores the role of intellectual property in driving innovation in the sports sector, from equipment and performance technology to branding and broadcasting. The stakeholders highlighted the importance of intellectual property rights such as patent, trademark, and copyright in protecting creativity and encouraging investment. They noted that a strong intellectual property system supports innovation and contributes to national development.
For us as a government, it is our view or our position that intellectual property is a critical driver of national development. We note that it fosters innovation, it enhances economic growth, it strengthens competitiveness by protecting creations of the mind, such as patents, trademarks, and copyrights.
A key highlight of the event was the launch of the Intellectual Property School Clubs, an initiative designed to promote awareness among young people on the importance of protecting ideas and fostering innovation.
There is no way we cannot be part of this prestigious moment, because as a ministry, we have been dealing with technical exhibitions of sports skills and prowess. And that is the reason why today, this afternoon, we have come with a handful of our people, our associations, sports associations, to demonstrate exactly the power of sport and how important is it that we really have to innovate in order to make sport a better entity in the country.
Authorities say the program will be integrated into the school curriculum nationwide.
Today, with the launching of this Sierra Leone IP school clubs, we pick up the whole. We till the soil. We say to every boy and girl from Kainaun to Cambia, from Pujong to Potloko, your ideas have value. Your creativity has power.
Statements from international bodies, including the World Intellectual Property Organization and the African Regional Intellectual Property Organization, reaffirmed global support for Sierra Leone's efforts in strengthening intellectual property awareness. The event ended with networking sessions and sporting activities reflecting the link between intellectual property and sport development.
Now in another development, Arsenal defeated Fulham 3-0 to extend their lead at the top of the English Premier League. The was a showdown of class and, of course, excitement from the brothers. And that's NC Update, and thank you so much for watching. See you next time.
Well, that's the end of the news from the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation in Freetown. Let's take a recap of our top stories. President Julius Maada Bio has commissioned a new flour mill plant at Kleintown, marking a groundbreaking development and a transformative leap towards food security. The Ministry of Health, together with the National Public Health Agency, has held a one-day after-action review on Mpox response to evaluate the country's handling of the outbreak and strengthening preparedness for future public health threats. And the Office of the Administrator and Registrar General, together with the Office of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, has commemorated World Intellectual Property Day 2026 with the launch of the Intellectual Property School Clubs. And that's the end of the news from the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation in Freetown. Thanks for watching, and do continue to stay tuned to your public broadcaster, the SLBC. Thanks for watching. Do continue to enjoy the rest of your weekend. I am Cecilia Alice to say goodbye.
The death is announced of Mr. Roland Macaulay, commonly known as Rolling Stone of 1 Main Beach Road, No. 2 River Village. He died on Sunday, the 26th of April, aged 59. Funeral arrangements will be announced later. Sympathizers may call on mobile numbers 030-177-007 or 079-188-273.
The death is reported of Mr. Joseph Moriamba of 84 Regent Road, Lumley, who died on Thursday, the 30th of April, aged 55. He is survived by his wife, Mrs. Cecilia Yamba. Funeral arrangements will be announced later. Sympathizers may call at 6 Freeton Road, Goderich, or call on 088-125-255 or 031-262-490. The death is reported of Engineer Mustafa Ismail Kale, commonly known as Tafe, of 18P Pratt Street, New Englandville, and of the Ministry of Lands, Housing and Country Planning, aged 51. Funeral arrangements will be announced later. What wondrous love is this, oh my soul, what wondrous love is this. The death is reported of Dr. Abu Kagbo of Hillcourt Road, an employee of the World Bank, aged 58. He is survived by his wife, Mrs. Wanjiku Kajira Kagbo, sons Miyumbe Zawadi Kagbo and Minabie Baraka Kagbo. Funeral arrangements will be announced later. Sympathizers may call at his residence, Hillcourt Road, back of Choitram International School, or call on 078-532-283. 078 266 254 or 076 328 745. The death is reported of Mrs. Saleh Kagbo, fondly called Saleh Ezekiel, which took place in the United States of America on Saturday the 25th of April, aged 45. She is survived by her husband, lawyer Ezekiel Brahima Kagbo, of El Dumbuya and Associates Law Firm, 91 4th Street, Freetown. Children, Ezekiel Timothy Kagbo and Juliana Zainab Wende Kagbo in Freetown, Sengba Victoria Kagbo, Esther Kella Kagbo, and Joshua Raymond Santiri Kagbo in the USA. Funeral arrangements will be announced later. Sympathizers may call at 24 Colca Lane, Surrey Town, or call on 077 284 747, 077 725 371 or 079 966 905. And through eternity, I'll sing on, and through eternity, I'll sing on. The Baka and Tarawali families announces the death of their daughter, Kopal Patricia. The death is reported of Mr. Joseph Moriamba of 84 Regent Road, Lumley, who died on Thursday, the 30th of April, aged 55. He is survived by his wife, Mrs. Cecilia Yamba. Funeral arrangements will be announced later. Sympathizers may call at 6 Freeton Road, Goderich, or call on 088 125 255 or 031 262 490. The death is reported of Engineer Mustafa Ismail Khaled, commonly known as Taffy, of 18P Pratt Street, New Englandville, and of the Ministry of Lands, Housing and Country Planning, aged 51. Funeral arrangements will be announced later. What wondrous love is this, oh my soul, what wondrous love is this. The death is reported of Dr. Abu Kagbo of Hillcourt Road, an employee of the World Bank, aged 58. He is survived by his wife, Mrs. Wanjiku Kajira Kagbo, sons Miyumbe Zawadi Kagbo and Minabie Baraka Kagbo. Funeral arrangements will be announced later. Sympathizers may call at his residence, Hillcourt Road, back of Choitram International School, or call on 078 532 283, 078 266 254 or 076 328 745. The death is reported of Mrs. Saleh Kagbo, fondly called Saleh Ezekiel, which took place in the United States of America on Saturday the 25th of April, aged 45. She is survived by her husband, lawyer Ezekiel Brahima Kagbo, of El Dumbuya and Associates Law Firm, 91 4th Street, Freetown. Children, Ezekiel Timothy Kagbo and Juliana Zainab Wende Kagbo in Freetown, Sengba Victoria Kagbo, Esther Keller Kagbo, and Joshua Raymond Santiri Kagbo in the USA. Funeral arrangements will be announced later. Sympathizers may call at 24 Colca Lane, Surrey Town, or call on 077 284 747, 077 725 371, or 079 966 905.
And through eternity, I'll sing on, and through eternity, I'll sing on.
The Kpaka and Torawali families announces the death of their daughter, Corporal Patricia Nafisa Tsukbaka of the Sierra Leone Police, attached at the Family Support Unit, Eastern Police Division. She died on Thursday, the 30th of April, aged 35. Funeral arrangements will be announced later. Sympathizers may call at her residence, 135 Baibure Road, or call on 079 750 351 or 078 502 151.
The ground of faith, who was made flesh and suffered death, all who confide in Christ alone are built on.
The death is reported of Mr. Solomon Tua, who died on Tuesday, the 28th of April. A vigil will be held on Saturday, the 2nd of April, at 6 Vincent Drive, Malama, Lumley, by the cinema at 7 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the 34 Military Hospital Funeral Parlor, Wilberforce, on Sunday, the 3rd of May, at 1 p.m. Interment at the Lumley Cemetery. With heavy hearts, the Kanyako family announced the death of Elizabeth Victoria Ami Kanyako, which took place on Sunday, the 26th of April, aged 61. Funeral arrangements will be announced later.
All glory to the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, three in one, to you.
The death is reported of Mr. Daniel James Panda of 5 Boyle Lane off Mauritano Road, Bananawata, who died on Friday, the 1st of May, aged 60. Funeral arrangements will be announced later. Sympathizers may call at 5 Boyle Lane off Mauritano Road, Bananawata, or call on 076 921 545 or 079 904 256 or 076 763 637.
Jesus, keep me near the cross. There's a precious fountain, free to all.
The death is reported of Mrs. Florence Adama Favor Gassama, which took place in Germany on the 10th of April, aged 74. She is survived by her children, Mrs. Mariama Charles, Mrs. Yvonne Omo Kande, Mrs. Doris Bondo, Mrs. Tracy Dolin Ye Onuka in Germany, Pastor Philip Darlington Mukhtar Gassama, Donald W. Williams, and Victoria Fona, Sister Mrs. Alice Mbayo of 38 Old Railway Line, Tengbe Town. Funeral arrangements will be announced later. Sympathizers may call on 076 237 761.
In the cross, be my glory.
death is reported of Martha Godwin, nee Tomagbandi, of 32 Main Motor Road, Congo Town, which took place on the 28th of April, aged 48. She is survived by her children, Georgiana and Daniel Cumming, and Juliana Godwin of the International School. Adopted children, Anthony, Patrick, Adama, and Martha. Stepchildren, Florence Chapman and Jonathan Godwin Jr. Parents, Mr. and Mrs. Daniel Tomagbandi. Brothers, Daniel, Patrick, and Aina. Sisters, Agnes, Saleh, Alice, and Zainab. Several grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, and other relatives at home and abroad. The body will be laid out on Thursday, the 7th of May at 10 Ranger Street, off Macaulay Street at 11 a.m. and at Beckles Davis Hall at 1 p.m., followed by funeral and communion service at the St. George's Cathedral Church, George Street at 2:30 p.m. Burial at the Circular Road Cemetery. Sympathizers may call at 10 Ranger Street off Mountain Court, Freetown, or call on 078-614-989, 078-819-818, or 099-465-881.
My glory ever, till my ransomed soul shall find rest beyond the river.
A memorial service to mark the 40th day ceremony for Mrs. Marie Jaya, commonly known as Auntie Marie nee Kankamunu, who died in India on the 7th of March, will take place on Sunday the 10th of May at the Holy Cross Catholic Church, Cemetery Road, Pepel at 11 a.m. An all-night vigil will take place on Saturday the 9th of May at the family residence, 1 Peter Lane, Pepel at 8 p.m. The Muno and Jaya families at home and abroad wish to express their thanks and appreciation to all those in diverse ways sympathize with them for the loss of their beloved one. May God bless you all, and may her soul rest in perfect peace. Sadly missed by her husband, Mr. Paul Muhammad Jaya. Sons, Paul Muhammad Jaya Jr., Bernard and Julius. Adopted children, Rosetta Mbalu Kamara and Makmunu. Brothers, sisters, in-laws, cousins, nieces, nephews, relatives and friends at home and abroad.
Anguish with sore abuse and scorn. How does thy face now languish, which once was bright as morn? Thy grief and bitter passion were all for sinners' gain.
In loving and affectionate memory of our dearly beloved daughter, sister, and friend, Nematu A. Conte, who departed this world for eternity on the 2nd of May 2021. 5 years has gone by. It seems like yesterday. You are gone but not forgotten, as only the hearts that love know the sorrow of parting. You are still loved, still missed, and still very dear. We love you most, but Jesus loves you best. Goodbye, good night. Continue to take your rest till we meet again on that beautiful shore to part no more. Dearly missed by your father, Reverend Isaac D. K. Conte, Mother Joy Fatmata K. Conte, Grandmother Mrs. Aisatu Musu. Brothers and sisters, Rosalind, Marion, Sylvia, Zainab, Gilo, Aisatu Emmanuel, Paul, Ibrahim, and Saidu Conte. Uncles and aunts, Adama, Zainab, John, Abdul, and Almami.
These eyes new faith receiving from thee shall never.
We come on a salon. We come na England, but we don't run away. We come for better. We people that want for see what we they do. We people that want for know what we they say. Oh, we let we salon. Oh, we let we salon.
I met this guy on Saturday. He said he wanna take me for a holiday. He wanna run for my.
We come on a salon. We come na England, but we don't run away. We come for better. We people that want for see what we they do. We people that want for know what we they say. Oh, we let we salon. Oh, we let we salon.
For that back, she gon' wind up. For that back, she gon' wind up. For that back, she gon' wind up. For that back, she gon'